I had a customer that reached out to me and said, how do we get all the ports and protocols that are open up between two zones in a query? And is Access or Security Intelligence Center the best way to get this data? And he mentioned, and I'm going to show you a long list of data. In his example, his query was from trusted to DMZ, and DMZ is here. I can explore all access to DMZ to replicate the very initial part of the question. And what Red Seal will do is it will calculate all the access in the model that goes to subnets in DMZ. That's all fine, and we could see this query here. Actually, he had said all trusted subnets. So I'm just going to change this up a little bit and change this to trusted. And by default, I was already doing a run here before. This Explorer will default to TCP UDP. What I did was I just simply cleared that. Now we're doing trusted to DMZ, and we see the internet or untrusted interfaces fall out of the query. And again, it's this big blue spray of access. And we see all kinds of access, and we could dive into those individual access rows and look at the details on that, but that's not giving us all the ports and protocols that we had wanted. I mean, if we chose this and we go over here, I mean, again, we get all the details, and what he really wants is a summarization of these lines. So could we get that from an access query? Well, the access query is very similar to what we asked with Explorer window, except that access queries in Security Intelligence Center do not have protocols filters enabled by default. But in reality, this is just going to run the query that we just did here. The better place to answer that question is with zones and policy. So I created a zone called DMZ. I added my DMZ subnets to that. In Trusted, I actually went in and used, I added all the subnets that were not involved with the DMZ network. And the easiest way to do that is actually to go into the groups editor, navigate down to the access question, and in Trusted, open this up and add all your static members for your trusteds, and then go down and then use the topology view and identify all your DMZ subnets and add those to the list. That way you're using Red Seal to do the math for you. And that will allow you not to run into any particular zone overlaps here. So selecting this, again, we can look at a flatten, and it shows us all the access between those two zones, but it doesn't answer the question, what ports and protocols do we have open there? So I'm going to pull up, I created a report using the Red Seal report editor, create a new policy compliance report, and simply pointed it at the particular access question report. And when we run this access policy report, trusted to DMZ, we get a fail. But the most important thing that we get answered, these questions right here. Here are the ports and protocols and ports that are open between these two particular zones. I hope you enjoyed this run through, and please feel free to email us support@redseal.net if you have any other questions. Cheers.